Welcome. It's a new week. The Black British Cyclist is back again. So we're going to start this Tour De Zwift in about 20 seconds. So what's on the menu today? We're going to talk about getting started with Zwift. I'm going to talk about my Turbotrainer and my Zwift Setup. We're also going to look at some of the options that are out there. There's the Zwift Hub and also some alternatives. We're going to do this while riding Tour De Zwift Stage 4. Let's go! We're off! Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I am so lively. It's Monday. I don't know what it is, but I always start Monday with lots of energy. I finish work, jump up onto the Zwift, and that's one beauty of having this setup at home. It is freezing outside here in the UK. It's minus, probably about -1, -2. Frosty as hell. Not really the sort of weather you want to be riding the bike outside, whether you've got disc brakes or not. Gotta watch out for that ice. Anyway, we're talking a little bit more about some of the advantages of riding indoors as opposed to riding outdoors. We're all dressed up in our raver cycling outfits with the rave bowl hats. Do you remember it? It's a rave. Anyway, we're here for around about 25 kilometers. This is stage 4. Nice way to earn some XP as we cycle around. Fire off some questions in the chat. Replay is available, and I will make all the chat conversations into chapters so you can jump to a relevant part in the chat. Just use your search function, the scroll function, get to an interesting bit. So I need to get warmed up. Heart rate is registering a little bit low at the moment, but you know how it is. That should pick up to around about 130 to 140, maybe sit at about 138. Talking and cycling, oh, it's a lot easier when you're doing it indoors, isn't it? Anyway, the music's playing in the background. Don't forget to check out the artists in the description. Show some love. Show some love, you know what I mean. Anyway, we're here. We've done the lead-in. Fan number 1 has just kicked in. I have my cooling system. We call it a cooling system. Then we're going to call it. I have my state-of-the-art cooling system. It's just a dumb fan. Very big fan. Keep it nice and cool. But I do have it on a smart plug, so I can do like home automation, set timers. I can also link it to my heart rate monitor. So when my heart rate gets up above a certain level, hopefully higher than 76, the fan will kick in. Don't have it activated right now. It's winter. The wattage cottage doesn't get too high in temperature in the winter. Right, so we're going to get a Powerup going through this gate. What we're going to get? Feather, Draft, Aero, XP. I just don't know. Woo! It's a draft. Just like the fun. The fan, the fun. Oh, I can't get my words out today. Anyway, as I was saying, we are going to talk about some of the different types of equipment you can use to get set up in Zwift. Should we get started? Get into it. I'm probably going to maintain this as an average pace, nothing too taxing. So let me talk about my Zwift setup. You can also check out the links above. It will give you a video, short video of my wattage cottage. But for the moment, I'm on a road bike. You can ride any bike. This is a carbon, not when it matters. Weight has no impact when you're cycling indoors. So I have this attached to a Direto X Turbotrainer, and that's made by Elite. Cost me around about £800. It's about the same in euros, about $900. Prices have actually come down at the moment. I did buy that in the peak of the first lockdown. There's also other manufacturers. Wahoo is kind of a popular brand. If you haven't heard of it, you've definitely seen the adverts or the brand name about. And of course, Zwift has its own Zwift hub. We'll take a look at that in just a bit and give you a little sneak peek. And I'm going to focus mainly on direct drive turbo trainers. There are wheel-on turbo trainers you can have. I'm not going to talk too much about them. One, I don't use them, so I wouldn't say I was the expert on that. But if you want to get more insight into different types of turbo trainer, check out GP Llama. He does reviews on pretty much everything cycling Zwift related. And also Turbotrainers, I think it's .com. Very awesome guy who does lots of Zwift and alternative cycling app reviews. Check them out. But the Zwift Hub, it's a wheel on, no sorry, direct drive turbo trainer. And direct drive basically means your back wheel comes off your bike, attaches to the turbo trainer. If you look where you've got bike cam, it's that bit that's just behind here. So your chain off the bike will attach to a set of a cassette and a little spokey disc thing that's like a bit like a chainsaw. Attaches to that, so when you pedal, it's going to translate the power you're putting through the pedal into the app, and that's the numbers that you see on the screen. So when you go up a hill or down a hill, when the gradient changes, these direct drive turbo trainers, they're smart, so they would adjust the resistance or the difficulty of the trainer to reflect the terrain. So if you come up to a hill that says 10% gradient, it will adjust so it feels like you are cycling up a 10% gradient. Right, that's the basics. By getting a direct drive turbo trainer, you pretty much have everything you need to get started. There's a parameter already included. Parameter is going to translate to Zwift the power you're putting out in the bike, so it translates to your avatar on screen. Cadence sensor, that's the speed that your legs are spinning around on the pedals. That's cadence. RPMs, revolutions per minute. Heart rate sensor is not essential, it's an extra. You can use other types of wearables. I'm pretty certain your Apple Watch or Samsung, whatever that equivalent is, I'm pretty sure they will also connect to Zwift. So heart rate monitor is not essential, but it's worth having if you are interested in maximizing your training. You can train to heart rate zones. So it means that you're, rather than working to perceived effort, so you might say, you know, give it 8 out of 10 or 8 on the scale, 5 on the scale. You can go to heart rate zones, and they're pretty much split into 5 zones, zone 1 through to 5. Right now I'm pretty much going zone 2. Zone 1 is grey, zone 2 is blue, zone 3 is green, zone 4 yellow, and zone 5 is red, and my second fans kicked in. Woo! Just what I needed. As I mentioned, I've got those on timers. So heart rate monitor, not essential, but if you do buy one, you're probably looking at anything between £20 or euros, $25, to around about £50 or euros, 60 or so dollars. And if you use sports trackers such as Strava or intervals, heart rate data, it's one of those metrics that really helps you dial in your training and your stats. So I have a head unit which didn't start that now, which is my Garmin Wahoo, you know, your bike computer. That is linked to my pedals, because I do have power pedals with a parameter in. You don't need any fancy pedals unless you decide you're going to race. A lot of race categories do stipulate that you have to have a dual power source. So your main one would be your Turbotrainers parameter, and an additional parameter, which is usually in your pedals or your crank. and that's to eliminate the chances of cheating, manipulating your data. So you just have to submit both your data readings, and if there's any discrepancies, they can investigate that a little bit more. But if you're not going to race, don't worry about it. Jump on the bike, pedal away, get a sweat on, get some fitness, race for fun, race for personal target goals, anything really. All right, so we have a look. What else we got? Oh, my Turbotrainer is also on a Rockerplate. It's like a wooden platform. It's on like a slider roller bar, compression pads on the side, so I get side to side movement. It gives it a little bit more flexibility, so it's mimicking the feeling and the movement as if I was on a real bike outside. It also makes the ride a little bit more comfortable as well. You're not just rigid on a bike, there's a little bit more movement. That's about it really in terms of like getting started. Turbotrainer and a bike. Other things are just to make your riding more comfortable. So a fan would definitely be something that I'd highly recommend. Keep yourself cool. When you're outside, you have the natural air, the movement of the air. Whether it's windy or not, you're still moving through the air, and that's giving you natural cooling. In your room, your garage, hallway, wherever you've got your bike set up to ride on a Turbotrainer, it's just static, stationary, no air movement. So invest in a fan, get a good one. I had two. I'd highly recommend either of those fans. And then things like, what else? Obviously I stream, so I've got other accessories to increase my stream. But that is all you need. Things like the Zwift play button will give you easier functionality for activating power-ups. In fact, I better activate this power-up. Let's take a quick look at what the draft power-up does. So we're all riding behind each other, kind of like get the slipstream effect. If I press this draft power-up, it's going to increase the draft benefit that I'm getting while sat within the draft of these cyclists. So think of it as a little bit of a breather. You can expend a little bit less watts, or you might get a little bit more power for the same amount of exertion. And you see the guy in front has fired off a feather. That's making you lighter. 10% lighter, so perfect if you're going uphill. That's a little bit about the power, and the guy in front has also fired off an aero. It's going to make your avatar, your cyclist, 10% aero for a short duration. Again, gives you a little bit of a breather from the effort, but also it will give you that additional sort of like speed or power boost, especially if you're sprinting. Okay, right. I do have a couple of screens set up. We can start talking about. Boom. That works. Go on. There we go. So here's the Zwift hub. They've currently got a special offer on at the moment. Screen. Oh. So the Zwift hub, it's currently on special offer, £549.99. Do your own calculations for dollars and euros. And it also comes with 1 year Zwift subscription. So that's like £130 saving. If you're going to buy this Turbotrainer, you're most likely going to join Zwift anyway. So I'd think, not that after that price, it means you're getting that Turbotrainer for 420 quid, which isn't bad. I've got no idea what it's like. I know it's a really popular Turbotrainer. I'm pretty certain it used to be the Zwift hub, or maybe that's what they got caught up in the copyright claim for. But there you can see it's got the cassette, attached to the turbo trainer. It comes with it as well, so you don't have to buy another cassette. And the back of your bike just sits onto that, connects to the computer or however you're connecting to Zwift, and you're good to go. You can also pick which size cassette you have. So just look at your bike, just count the sprockets on the back, and just select the one appropriate. Boom, boom. Right, anything else we can see about this? Not much else really. Just add it to cart. Not that much more information. And the other option, there's a few new other options that I've just launched today. So it looks as if Decathlon, which is like a bargain, discount, outdoor sports type outlet, they've seemed to have dropped all the prices for their turbo trainers. And I think they brought out a new one by Ryzel. Struggling here to swap the screens at the same time. So this one here, it doesn't say new, but let's have a little look at it. Interactive turbo trainer, D500, $449.99, so a little bit cheaper than the Zwift Hub. But I think once you factor in the 12 months of subscription, it's about £20 more. I've got no idea what it's like, but as you can see, max power 1500 watts, 12% gradient. So there's a few gradients on Zwift you're going to be able to get up a lot easier. There's certain sections on Alp Zwift, for example, that's 18%. Some New York routes go as high as 22. So it just means you can still ride it. It's just that there'll be 22% gradient, but your turbo trainer will only be able to mimic the effects of 12%. So what's that? You're getting like a 50% discount. Anyway, if you want a budget, I'd say that was definitely worth a punt. I've lost my group. I should try and catch him again. Okay, here's a example of a wheel-on turbo trainer. You can see they've got the little picture here. Let's just close that. That shows you the back wheel fits on, and then the resistance is created here at the back wheel. So this one's only £100. Developed since with cyclists in mind. The 100 turbo trainer, blah blah. 7 resistance levels, quiet and compact. Yeah, that one folds up. So if you're stuck for space, sort of thing that folds up quite small by the look of it. I'm pretty certain you might need to add a few extra parts in order to effectively ride on Zwift. So a cadence sensor to be able to see how your pedals, your pedal revolutions, and you might need something to do the power. I'm not sure how Zwift power works, but you can certainly use that, get up on Zwift and be able to ride. You just won't necessarily be able to get official race results because you're not on a smart trainer. So that's one option. Right, let's go back. Let's have a look at my trainer. This is almost like mine. Actually, here's mine here. The Direto X. It's reduced by 14%. As I say, I've had this for 3 years. I've had no problems with it. It just works. It's a machine that just, it's kind of like your fridge. Sits there, you fill it. You don't have to worry about it. Don't have to oil it. There's no servicing. It's a solid machine. Now I will say, the cadence does often read a little bit off. when you're going certain speeds. Hence I like to connect my pedals. So this little group here has just swarmed me. I'm going to do what you do when you are riding with a group and you fall off, you get drops. You can chase, burn all your energy trying to catch that group again, or you can wait for another group like that. Ah, come on. That's just behind. When they catch you up, then all you got to do then is just kind of like slot into position. And if you want to be able to tell if the group that's coming up behind you are going at a pace that you can handle, if you look at the menus, just above where I'm on the bike, if you look on the menus, just there, you can see how much power they're putting out. So I'm currently doing 2.5 watts per kilogram. You can see the group are more or less about doing the same. If they were coming up and they were doing like above 3, 4, you know that's a powerful group. They're really sort of like churning through. They're probably just going to blow straight past you. Ooh. So use the maps to see the little dots, little green dots. That's all the other riders. You can see if they're catching you up. And you can also use the little log of the riders to see how far another rider's travelled, what sort of power they're travelling at. It's always better to ride with the group than ride on your own because you're sharing the draft. And it's fun, this is interactive. There are times you might want to ride on your own, but why pay for a subscription and ride in a group if you only want to ride on your own? Right, there we go. I'll be turning back to some more of those Turbotrainers as we get a little bit more into this ride. Oh, we're halfway through already. We're travelling quite some decent speed. 41 kilometers per hour. I'm absolutely in the draft here. Let's do a ride on. Radiance changing, 4%, 5%. Feels like I'm cycling through mud. So, in summary, getting started, any bike that can fit onto a Turbotrainer. Turbotrainer, as you see, I'm pretty certain you can pick up a wheel-on Turbotrainer for around about £50. There's a few others showed from that one website. £100 for what must be quite a fairly decent machine. Around about £450 will set you up with a direct drive Turbotrainer. I'd highly recommend, if you only have the budget for a wheel-on Turbotrainer, see if you can make a few sacrifices on your weekly spends in different places. If you can save a couple of pounds a week, that's £100 in a year. If you can save double that, that's £200. That extra £200 could go towards getting a slightly better Turbotrainer and enhance your overall experience. Well, of course, work within your own budget. So, whatever bike you can get, Turbotrainer is going to cost you anything between 100 upwards, but I think around about a ballpark figure, you'll be paying around about 450. I'm not recommending any Turbotrainer, and I have absolutely zero affiliations. But the one on Zwift with the 12-month subscription seems to be a really good option. I don't think you could fault it. If I was starting today, I'd probably go for that option. And you can always add, you can always change who's got like a kicker bike. Effectively the same sort of thing. They've just got it built on the frame of a bike. You'll pay a lot more. I think certainly now upwards towards the 2.5, 3 grand mark. But if it's something that you're going to use every week, you know, multiple times through the week, just over £1 a day for a year. And the longer you have it, the cheaper it becomes. Here we go, 3% gradient. Gradient's changing. I'm just going to adjust my cadence a bit so I can stay with these riders. Feel free to fire off any questions if you have any questions. Oh. Drop down a gear, make it easier. So I like Mondays to be nice and easy. I like to do mostly a zone 2 ride, so I get the legs warmed up, give the body a nudge, let it know what sort of activity and work I'm expecting from it for the week. I will be here mostly every day this week at 5. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe not Friday. So I'll do Group A of this Stage 4 tomorrow. And we can talk about anything. I think I'm probably going to talk more about my setup, the wattage cottage, streaming, and also some of the outdoor rides that I do. Local rides, not that many local rides in this weather, but that is when I would normally go mountain biking. I don't mind if it's wet, frosty or muddy when I'm mountain biking. It adds to the fun. What do you reckon? Would you not go mountain biking because it was raining? Would you only go when the sun was out? You'd be missing out on experiencing the terrain under different conditions. There it is. I did use that playlist on my my video showing my attempts up the Alp, getting the Millenstein wheels, which are the fastest wheels for climbing. Actually, they might have been superseded. So, just over 9 kilometers left. We're still climbing. 92 meters of elevation, leveling up to flat. I think I should really be on a gravel bike here. Better rolling resistance. So, I'm currently on the Zwift concept bike, which is the Tron bike. There are different types of bikes you can get in Zwift. There's quite a few different bike manufacturers. So you can match up, if you're lucky, you can match up your in real life bike with the bike you're riding in Zwift. I'll go into the garage after this ride, show you some of the bikes that I've got. But it's pretty much a combination of road bikes, mountain bikes, and there's also gravel bikes. So gravel bikes are a fairly new addition, as they are in real life. So there's not as much choice on gravel bikes. And the main difference is, I guess, weight and rolling resistance. So on a surface like this, which is pretty much dirt and gravel, a road bike won't travel as fast as a mountain bike or gravel bike. Their tyres, if it was riding in the real world, you'd travel a lot faster. And likewise, a road bike with its smoother tyres and thinner tyres, it's going to travel better on the roads, concrete, tarmac roads, than through the forest or gravel roads. So if you're picking a certain type of Zwift route, bike selection can have a big effect on your overall positioning throughout the ride. And obviously if you're racing, yeah, bike choice can be the difference between a podium and just eating dust. Right, let's check out the scenery. Oh, new Powerup. What's it going to be? Feather. Aero! So I've got the Aero Powerup. Got no need for it. Maybe I'll give you a sprint. So currently there are 1,017 riders in this group. I'm sitting 778. It's not a race for me. Some people are racing it, but it's a group ride. This bunch here are pretty much happy to just go at, we're probably averaging about 1.6, 1.7 watts per kilogram. Downhill section now, I might be able to super tuck. Here we go. Let's get a super tuck in. Right, so we're going fast enough. Oh, it's dropped from 2 to 3%. Okay. Super tuck. Here we go. Not quite. So the super tuck, it's banned in the use. The super tuck is banned by the UCI in real racing, but in Zwift, they've got their own rules. Super tuck is allowed. Tuck, mother. Ah, you thought I was going to say it. Of course, while super tucking, don't forget to pedal at the end, or you'll get dropped by your group. Just get back into the draft, push the watts up, ease off as I fall back into draft. We will share into slipstream. Oh, I've overshot it a little bit. It's okay. I don't mind sharing some of that headwind. 6.5 kilometers left to go. Oh, this is like really, I should have picked the longer one. Something about streaming, chatting while you do one of these rides, workouts, or a race. It doesn't have to make the time go a lot faster. Right. So the group's falling back in again. We've got a nice little bunch. 50 kilometers an hour we're traveling at. So I'm kind of in front, taking some of this draft. Everyone else behind me is benefiting. Etiquette in a group ride, you take turns taking on some of the extra effort at the front. And most times when you're riding, it kind of just happens. People just will swap. Although there are times when people either don't know or they're just not interested in sharing the it's like having a co-pilot, someone to share the load. Although there's times when I'm feeling like I've got loads of energy, like today for example, I don't mind being on the front. We're all going in the same direction. Real steady pace. Do another few ride-ons. You can also chat to the group as well, so I'm just going to send a group chat. Here we go, there's my chat. Ugh. And that's why I like having my mobile phone on a handlebar holder, so I can use the Zwift Companion App and all of the controls I want to do, whether that's firing up my power-ups, checking the map, changing the view, taking a screenshot. Right there. Chatting to other riders. It's all here at hand. Don't have to reach across to the keyboard. But if I want to do a bit more, I've got my little portable keyboard on a magnet holder. Ooh. Just under 5 kilometers left. Oh, nice easy. I'm gonna fire off this Powerup. I don't need it. Burn it. Burn. Let's jump on with this group. Get some draft. Look at the statues in the background. Massive monuments. Look at that. Close the gap. Oh, too powerful. Well, maybe not the best example of how to get back in the draft. So last 2 miles, here we go. You will be better off on a gravel bike on this route. I should have really considered that when I started. I do love the Tron bike though. The Tron bike's just the best. And it was so much fun working towards it, and a lot of hard work. I like to use it as often as possible. See me go, looking like a Tron. Neon, got it going on. Got my KOM jersey. No one can catch me. Okay, they can catch me. Right, we're back. Third person. I feel like this is just a warm-up. So when I finish this route, I will jump onto the pace part now. Carry on riding for that full hour. Yep, 5%. It's only a slight gradient. It's only 5%. So the difference between being on a direct drive turbo trainer and a wheel-on turbo trainer, this section here, the difficulty wouldn't adjust as you're cycling. You'd need to adjust it yourself. You'd be like, over to 5% hill. Let me make that resistance harder. I don't think you're going to do that, are you? But on a direct drive, where you're one that I'm on now, it adjusts automatically. So it's just got lighter. Now it's going to get harder again, 6%. Tiny little adjustments. Slowly starting to get a little bit easier. 1%. So it absolutely does mimic what it would be like if you was riding this IRL. In red long johns, is that what that means? In real life. And they also have this feature called ERG Mode, ERG, Echo Romeo Golf. So when you want a training plan, if say the interval wants you to work at say 200 watts, doesn't matter how slow you pedal or how fast you pedal, the turbo trainer will adjust the resistance so you always hit 200 watts. Can take some getting used to, especially to go like really low cadence, like 40, 50. The resistance is going to get really hard, like you're trying to pedal through quicksand. But then if your cadence is like 100 or so, obviously it's a lot easier. So if you jump between slow and fast, you'll feel it as the trainer's trying to normalise. There'll be a bit of a lag of a few seconds and it will destroy your legs. Oh, so you need to have fairly decent, no one can, like, unless you're pro, keep your cadence smack on. Like, let me see if I can do 85 RPMs. There we go, see if I can keep it on 85. Got 84, 85. Harder when the gradient changes as well. So we're not a machine. You can be more or less there, but if you was like, say, going like as low as this, and then high again, and then low, it's gonna lag. As long as your range is somewhere between 5 and 10, you won't really feel any negative impact. Right, the last mile, 1.6 kilometers. Let's go. 4% gradient. Let's climb this hill. Thank you for tuning in. As always, do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe. You don't need the bell notification. That's your choice. I do post quite frequently, so you'll probably get notified anyway. So I think I'm going to be doing these lives a minimum of three days a week. Should be here for 4 this week. And I'm going to treat you guys to a race. So you can watch me do a live race in a few weeks. Hopefully I'll podium. That'd be awesome though, wouldn't it? Be an audience and get a podium, a Cat C podium. I do race for fun now. Personal gains. Kind of like a measure. See that the training's paying off. Am I improving? They're not real trophies, they're virtual. You know what? I absolutely love a virtual badge. Oh. A virtual trophy. A digital sticker. Look, I've won one. Unlocking routes, finishing challenges, virtual badges, completion badges for doing workouts. I love all of those. More things to collect Zwift. In fact, Zwift, what you need, Mr. Min, we want another Zwift challenge to replace the Tron challenge. That's the biggest challenge you can work towards on Zwift, earning the Tron. Once you've got it, there's nothing else big left to work towards. We need a replacement. We need to start a petition. Give us a new challenge to work towards. We appreciate the updates and the new worlds, new bikes, new features, more XP, more levels. Want more challenges, Zwift. List them in. Sort it out. Right. 500 meters. I'm not doing a sprint, but I will do a seating sprint. That was further than I thought it was. I've got a hat. Got the Zwift Rave hat. Right, shall we look at the Zwift menu? Okie doke. So there's a group ride finished. I think that's around about 500 calories or so. Did start the Garmin a bit late. We're going to save the game. Oh. Computer, turn off, big fan. Right. Yeah, 500 training straight. I'm only on level 52 in no time. Okay, right. You still with me? Okay, so the Zwift menu. Let's go to my garage or my garage. I never say garage. I'm garage. Okay. So we're gonna look at some of my bikes. Oh, what have I done? I've gone to wheels. This controller seems to be sticking a bit. I think I've sweated in it. Okay, so we're gonna go to frames. Let's take a look at some of the bikes that I have. Now, when you first start, you want to get every possible bike you can. Then after a while, you realise that the more bikes you have in your garage, the longer it takes you to swap between bikes. So here's one bike that I got. I think I earned this by doing a group ride, and you got this bike at the end of it. This was the first bike that I really wanted to get, the Canyon Air Road. So much so that I almost bought this bike in real life. I just wasn't happy with the price. It's about £3,500, a little bit more than what I want to spend for a bike at my level. I'm just an enthusiastic cyclist. I'm not really going to benefit from the aero benefits and everything else that bike offers. It's just a bike that looks nice to me, but you can customize it slightly. Just the colours, change the colours. Yeah, Canyon Air Road. So when you're first starting Zwift, if there was a bike I would recommend, I'd recommend riding as much as you can till you can get to the right level to be able to get the Canyon Air Road. I think you get it around about level 10 or level 12. So it's about the first decent bike you can get with, you know, relatively not a great deal of riding. So I thought, you know what, I need to get a fast bike. So we also got this Canyon Speed Max. It's my like time trial bike. Let's spin this round a bit. Let's have a look at it. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to work a lot better with some disc wheels on there. What else have we got? Direto F8. I think this is a mountain bike. Gravel bike. Anyway, Direto Specialized S. This is a mountain bike. This was the first mountain bike that I got for Zwift. I think it's a pretty decent one. Dual suspension. I can't really tell you if there's much of a difference in time these bikes do, but if you go onto Zwift Insider, they do time tests of all the bikes, and they will tell you how fast they are on Tempest and up the Alp. And this was a gravel bike I got, Specialized Crux. So I should have really rode this bike on that last route I was on. I would have got through a lot faster. Not that I was desperate for race. Specialized Tarmac Pro. I think you get this one after you've gone up the Alp the first time, possibly. So it's definitely worth riding on Zwift as much as you can, because as well as buying bikes with your drops, you can earn bikes by doing certain group rides or certain events. The Trekkimanda, sorry, it's a Trekkimanda you get for climbing on Alp de Zwift. Yeah, free bike, and it's a climbing specific bike as well, so very light, great to pair those up with the Milnstein wheels once you get them. Zwift Carbon, obviously this one just comes standard. This is the bike that you all start off on. Nothing special, you know, it's not a race spec bike, but it's something to get you started. There's my Tron bike. You can also have the hand cycle. So like a recumbent bike. Should start pedaling. Oh, I thought you pedalled while you pedalled. That one doesn't know. All right, so that's the hand cycle. The standard Zwift mountain bike. Zwift still. Do you know what? I should have a go on it, shouldn't I? I don't think I've ever rode this bike. Ridden. You can customise it. I kind of like the green. And the standard Zwift TT. Right, so let me equip a different bike. Let me do the Speed Max. And then I can show you some of the wheels. Pick a few wheels. So I've got the DT Swiss Arc 1100 disc on here. Here's the Milnstein wheels. So it's a lightweight. Don't know whether you want to really use these in combination. Like a climbing wheel. 808s. Super 9s. So yeah, these ones pair up really well. And of course the 858 Super 9. I love these wheels. These are the wheels that I really wanted. I thought this span as you pedal. It's only the Tron that moves. Anyway, these wheels. Let's just get out there and ride so I can show you these wheels. They're hypnotic. Tomorrow I'll probably show you some more features, such as, you know, customizing your avatar. Pretty straightforward. Where's my afro gone? Where's my afro back? Oh, they've changed the hair colour. I can now have a black afro. Should I go blonde? Black it is. Right, we've not come here for this. Oh, come on. This controller's getting really sticky. Alright, I'm going to keyboard. Close this. Jump on a pace partner. Tempest. It's only so I can show you the wheel. There we go. Oh, not benefit from draft with the time. Oh, this is another feature. Well done, Zwift. I didn't realise that if you started Zwift on the wrong bike, while with the robot pacers, I'm on a time trial bike. So Zwift is telling me that I won't get the draft, so it's giving me the option to switch. It's going to auto switch me. So I'm just going to select key bike. Hey, right. We're here. And I really only want to show you the wheel. Look at those wheels. Look how hypnotic those wheels are. Angled rear. Look at that. Oh. Give in. Subscribe. Subscribe to the BBC. Receive the BBC. It hypnotised me anyway. Right. So, yeah, I absolutely love these wheels. Pace partners left me. This is built for speed. So we do a sideline. So we have come to an end. It's been great sharing my ride with you. Thank you for tuning in. We're back again tomorrow. I'll be riding another route of Tour De Zwift. I'll also be talking a little bit more about my setup, getting started in Zwift, talk about some of the ride features. Of course, I'm going to answer any of your questions, which I do love. Feel free to post them on this video. I will return back to them on my live, or join me from 5 PM GMT. And let's talk Zwift. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Adios.